Space Coconut.
And so before I get started with today's match, video, whatever the thing I'm doing here, I guess I had my head in the ground because I didn't notice all the discussions that were going on about disconnecting. I just kind of deal with it. I mean, I had a couple yesterday, and I understand it's a widespread problem, but I didn't know that some pretty large streamers got together and had a couple of podcasts about the topic. And it was a pretty interesting thing to hear some of these people talk about disconnecting and such. And okay, so I like human nature. I like learning about people and figuring people out and seeing what makes them tick. After my first, we're going to get to personal territory. I've only had 2 girlfriends my entire life. My ex, when that relationship ended, I had no friends. I had no social skills. I had no idea, how to talk to women. And so I read books and I watched videos on how to change that. And what I ended up learning was a lot about human nature and how people react to things and how to understand people in a really short period of time. And so it's one of the things that my current fiance, hopefully that doesn't change, that she liked about me, that I was able to get her, and she sees how I understand other people, when I don't even know them. And so it was really interesting watching, and I saw Tofu's podcast, and I saw the people that I would consider biased in favor of disconnecting, and we heard that. And here's some clips that I thought were most important from there.
It's just like I still end up seeing the same people over and over, same teammates over and over again. I know how they play. I have to adjust to how my teammates play because, they don't cleanse totems, or they don't do gens, or they don't go for saves. I kind of have to be that because everybody sucks throughout all the ranks that I've been in when playing Survivor Friends. And it's just, it's like I have to accommodate for everything.
But if I need to D-rank, I just do it. And I don't really, I see I'm watching your chat and a lot of people are like, well, why don't you, it's clear that a lot of you guys don't think about other people's funds. Well, that's not right, because Hexy literally said that, it affects other people's games. So you're wrong there. But I'll be the devil's advocate on this one and say that, honestly, at the end of the day, if I'm playing with people, if I cared about the people playing the game, I would SWF. I almost never SWF. I say it in my chat constantly that, I really don't give a fuck about the people that I'm playing with right there. I don't care if it's a shitty thing to say. It's about me having fun and I don't know, it's a shitty thing to say, but at the core of it, if somebody's rolling around going, oh, poor me, I hope these guys have a good time. That's just not me. I just don't care. If those other 3 people aren't having a good time, you know why? Because you play with a bunch of fucking potatoes half the time. So it's I'm not having a fun time either, getting put into this shitty ass rank with these boosted teammates. So I don't know.
A common theme throughout that entire podcast, if you pay attention and you hear it, everybody is talking about themselves. It is my fun, my experience, my viewers, my stream, I, me, my. All of it is about them. And then if you notice in King's podcast, I think the second one, which had Polyester. I love that guy's name so much. It had Polyester, Monto, some people I hadn't heard of, Tide, Geek, and most interestingly enough, Kitty Chips, who was in, favor of disconnecting. And the conversation, if you notice from the people who are against disconnecting, they all basically suck it up. The matches might suck. They might run into the same people. There are simple solutions to that. But what you'll notice from the majority of them is that their concern is actually tied to the fun of other people. The definition of empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. And the interesting thing about this is this is the problem. And in King's podcast, they talked about how disconnecting to gain an advantage, or for whatever reason, they gave, was a moral issue. Unfortunately, once you turn it into that, it becomes a personal attack. They mentioned they wanted it to be as professional and not personal as possible, but when you state that, or disconnecting is a morally wrong choice or act, you're attacking the person's character, and they're instantly going to get defensive. They're instantly going to shut down, and they're not going to listen to what you have to say. And so I think that was a mistake to take it in that direction. But here's the very simple solution. Not solution. The very simple, it's a very simple something for this. In the game rules and report system FAQ, the FAQ, this was edited last December. It was posted in September. We have a section down here. Where are you at? Unsportsmanlike conduct. And on here is disconnecting. Leaving the match before killed or sacrificed. We're not supposed to report these because they automatically track them, and everybody knows that this tracking system needs to be adjusted or changed, but that's irrelevant. The fact that this is here says that disconnecting is against the rules. It's very simple. Regardless of your excuse, regardless of your reasoning, if it's intentional, disconnecting is bad, and you shouldn't do it. I've done it before. I think I even I think I even shared a video where I rage quit. 3 gens done so quick, and I was done. The match was going to be over, and I wasn't having a good time, so I left. I don't regret it, and it was done in a fit of anger, but that's what happens. That's why some of these things, it was a purely selfish act. I didn't care about what they felt in regards to the game. It only mattered what I felt at that time, and that wasn't right. And disconnecting is a symptom of what the real problem is. And they touched on it in their podcasts in the 3, I think, that they were made. And I think it's really important that if we get past talking about disconnecting, we talk about the real problems. The reasons these streamers feel they have to disconnect is because they see the same killer, either the killer or the player, multiple times in a row, which is, it's easily avoidable. Sometimes I think you remember the couple of weeks ago, I don't remember. I went up against a 3-man 3 times in a row. That certainly wasn't fun. All I had to do was stop queuing up for a lobby. I went and I made myself some tea. I came back, sat down, queued up, and they were gone. And I haven't seen them since. The problem with seeing the nurse or the hillbilly in all of your matches, that's purely on the devs. With the balance of the game is causing this problem. Matchmaking ties into that problem. Survive with friends ties into that problem, with killers dodging lobbies to not play against those teams. And what I think was interesting in some of these players' arguments was that they mentioned how Kitty in particular talked about how she liked going against difficult killers for a little bit, skilled killers for a little bit, and then going against easier killers for a little bit. And I don't know if anybody else thought this, but it sounds like something that a casual and a ranked mode would remedy. People say that it would split up the player base, but I think if you really think about it, if you're in the mood to try hard and do your best, you're going to queue into the ranked mode. If you're in the mood to just mess around and play around and not really take anything seriously, then you're going to queue in for the casual mode. I think it would be worth trying out to see, how the different systems worked, how it actually split the player base if it did. Because I think there's enough players that would fill either side, depending on the day, depending on a person's mood, depending on what they felt like at the particular time. This way you have your streamers who are tired of going against, skilled players, and then they can go and they can mess around in a casual game. In the end, this is the developer's problem. We can only talk about it and bring it up and make noise, but it's the developers who need to do something about it, and hopefully they're listening, and hopefully they choose to do something. I wanted to chime in. It was kind of nice because I checked the comments, and somebody asked them to invite me onto one of these things, and I thought that was really neat. So I thought I'd chime in and give my opinion, give my thoughts on it. I'm not sure if it was coherent or clear or whatever, but there you go. The game. Alright. Let's see how this goes. Using whispers instead of the other one. Set more traps. Really? Okay. For the hag in the basement in the game? Good luck. I know you're here, that's the thing. Aw, that's too bad. Get back into the basement. Too early. Whispers is pretty useless in this situation, actually. It's okay. No. The rest of them are on the bottom, pal. Oh, let's... Oh, there's a door. How do I do that? I can chase you for days now. Get out of here. The game is mine. Scummy, maybe. Necessary, maybe not. But today, yep. Now I feel, but actually, no, this person did pretty good for just that purple. The family residence. Alright, let's see how this goes. I think for this map, rather than pallets, I think travel paths might be more important. Yeah! One person down, one... I heard you. She's gonna rush for the other rescue. Sprint burst. You're dead. Stop running into hooks and you won't die. Or traps. What's up? Do-do-do-do-do. Goodbye? No goodbye. You have 1 minute to live. Okay, so she ran this way. Okay.
Ah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Goodbye. Okay. Travel paths. The sparks need to be higher, I think. And then the hatch. I'm sorry, but I think they got wrecked. And the only way this person's getting out is through the hatch, which they know and they're looking for. And they're crouching everywhere. Yeah, that was a pretty good match.